Hey guys, how we doing? How we doing? Come on in. All right, I'm gonna choose a card. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. Ready? This one. All right, so the card that I have for you tonight is Mending Bridges. Can you see that? It says, I heal rifts and I am a mender. I love this card and it gives me an opportunity to talk about something before we dive right in to my secret self-care feelings trick. Before I jump into that, it gives me an opportunity to talk about something that I think is really important. When you're healing things from your past, when you are working on forgiving people and letting things go, you don't have to make the other people a part of it. If you need to work on healing something or saying something to someone that you just feel in your gut that you need to say, they don't need to be there. You don't actually have to say it to them. Like, how freaking cool is that, right? You can mend bridges without the other person there if that doesn't feel right to you. Hey, Jamie. Now listen, I think the best thing to do, the best case scenario is to mend bridges with somebody or with a situation in person, like with the person, like that feels the best. But that's not always real. That's not always reality, right? So do what you can do. Maybe that person's passed away. Maybe that's just a conversation that you know will create more drama in your life if you do bring it up. That's all right. Mend bridges, make peace anyways without the person there. Write down all the things you want to say. Find a way that when you do see them, you can come peacefully and happily, right? Mending bridges is for you. It's not for the other person. You don't heal a relationship with someone to help the other person. You do it for yourself. At least that should be the motivation. If you want to truly heal it, that's what you got to do, right? Forgiveness is something that you do as a gift to yourself. You forgive yourself or you forgive another person because you want to do something nice. You want to let go of that anger and that hurt and those feelings and say, this doesn't have power over me anymore. Forgiving someone isn't about saying that, what you did was okay. I'm okay with that really shitty thing that you did. That's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is like, I'm going to move past this now. I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to move past this. I'm not going to continue to bring it up. But you always remember it. You always know it. You always have it in your brain that that person really went out of their way to do something really crappy to me once, and you just hold it. You don't throw it against them. You don't use it against them. You've knocked them out in your boundaries down to level 3 probably at least, right? And then you just allow, and then you just come and you show up and you be present and you don't go backwards into that moment behind you. That's what forgiveness is, okay? That's why we mend bridges, to heal ourselves. All right, let's talk about my secret feelings self-care trick. Secret self-care feelings trick. I think that's the right order for the words. So first off, let's start off with why feelings matter when it comes to self-care and why you need a trick for them. So feelings are the most important part of sticking to and committing to self-care. They're the most important part of most everything that you do. If you've got things in your life that you do all the time, it's because the feelings you feel when you do them are good, or doing them helps prevent you from going to a place of feeling bad. Okay? Most people don't put on pants like jeans or, I don't know, fancy pants or high heel shoes because it physically feels good in that moment. It's because it makes them feel a certain way when they're dressed that way. And when they're dressed just in their pajamas and haven't showered in days, it makes them feel a way that they don't want to feel. Okay, so it's about really seeing that self-care. Hey, Kelly, self-care is the same way. Everything you do is the same way. And when you're not able to make self-care a priority, it's because you're not feeling the way that you want to be feeling, or you're not feeling a desired way when you do it. And taking that a step further, maybe in the moment you're feeling good, but afterwards, when you kind of analyze it and think about it, you start to feel crappy. You start to feel guilty. You start to feel silly or frivolous or selfish, right? So then you kind of, if those feelings are bigger than the good feelings you had when you were taking care of yourself, it's going to be super hard to ever do it again because you're going to be left with those other stronger feelings, okay? Any person that is a healer of any kind, like Kelly that I just saw pop in, and Jamie that is here that I can see, your ability to connect with people and to have them come back to you and want to have you continue to treat them and help them heal is because you help them feel good about having the healing done. That's part of your job as a healer. Okay. If you want to have continuing business, if you want to have people show up again and again and knock down your door and please let me in, oh my God, you got to help increase those really great feelings and help them work through and decrease the issues and the problems that they have when it comes to feeling that way. That's why things like what Kelly Austin does with myofascial release, when you're actually releasing some of those emotions when you're getting the treatment, is so effective. And that's why something like Reiki that Jamie does, you're literally releasing and working through the issues that you have as you're getting the treatment, right? So you want to be making sure that you're building that in. Okay, so let's say you're the person who needs the self-care, right? Let's flip it around to you. That's what we're focusing on this month, right? How do you get to the point where like those feelings are bigger? The good feelings are bigger than the bad. If you're currently not rocking at taking care of yourself, it's because the bad feelings that come along with taking care of you are beating, they're outshining the good feelings. So you gotta change that. You gotta shift it. You gotta move the scale. Okay. For me, when I first started really stepping into taking good care of myself, first of all, I had traveled way too far down the road of not taking care of myself, right? So then you have so much more to deal with. I still sometimes do that. Like I still am like, I go to like Kelly or someone and she's like, why didn't you come in like months ago when this started bothering you, right? Like I wait so long still. And the reason is because sometimes I feel guilt for taking time out of my schedule to do that. And I start shoulding all over myself, right? Well, I should do this. I should do that. I shouldn't do this. I should do that. I shouldn't take the money. I should, right? And so that feeling used to stop me from ever taking good care of myself because I would feel really guilty about it. And the guilt was stronger than the good feelings I got from the self-care. Even though I knew from a logical standpoint that taking care of myself was making me a better mom and a better wife and a better everything, right? A better employee, everything, right? Kelly says you still sometimes do. I totally still do. See, that's one of my healers calling me out. Yes. So I know all of that stuff, right? But you know what? The guilt was tripping me up, and I was thinking, that's beating that. I know that I know that it's worth it. I know that I'm worth it. I know that it's good. But that guilt or that stress and overwhelm of thinking of taking time out of my schedule to do that, or even just trying to fit it in, is just bigger than my feelings of feeling good while doing it. So how do you change that? How did I change that? Again, still a work in progress. Full transparency, right? I have not mastered this. This is not something that I don't have to continuously work on. I do. Self-care is hard for me because I feel so much better when I'm giving to other people, right? And a lot of you guys, a lot of you healer empaths who are watching this right now, I know can relate to that feeling. But here's the thing. The way that you beat that is by focusing on the good feelings, giving them more time and space. All right, so how do you do that, right? Sounds great. How do we do that? The first thing you want to do is whatever your self-care routine is, whatever the thing, let's say it's just one thing that you're trying to incorporate into your life for self-care, you want to write that down. Have it on a piece of paper. And I know some of you, like, writing is your jam and you love it. I know, like, Jamie likes to type it. Typing it's fine. It just needs to get out of your head. You can't just say it, okay? You have to make it concrete and real. And if you have a lot of resistance around that, it's because when you feel like you're making something real, you're feeling like now you have to meet it, and you're feeling all of these fear of failure, like feelings coming in, and you're starting to panic. Good. I'm glad that you're feeling all those things because now you have to face them, okay? I'm not happy that you're struggling. I'm happy that you're going to face your stuff because you should be able to write this on a piece of paper or type it. Got it? Make sense? Yes? You know who I'm talking to right now. I know you do. Okay. So you write it down or you type it, right? So you've got it outside of your brain, outside of just being in your calendar of something to do. And you have it there, right? And so then you say, what are the things that I hope to gain from this? What am I hoping to gain from doing this? What am I hoping to feel when I do this? And that you have to write down 3 things. Okay. So maybe you're hoping to feel less stress. So what would that give me? That would give me more peace in my life. And that, what would that do for me? Oh my gosh, that would help my health. That would give me more energy. Awesome. Okay, the second thing that I'm hoping to do is to really work through this block that I have that is showing up, not just energetically, but also in my body. So I want to work through that. How will that make me feel? That will make me feel empowered. That will make me feel happy and excited and ambitious and hopeful. Great. Okay, third thing, what else do I want? I want to have less pain in this area of my body, okay? So if I go, I'll have less pain there. And so instead, I'll feel comfortable. I'll feel at ease. I'll feel relaxed. And oh my God, that will make such a great difference. So there's your 3 that you're hoping to gain. So when you walk in the door to wherever you're getting your healing, all right, you want to be having that in your mind as a goal to feel those ways. When you're done, you get your card probably, right? And you sit down and you're going to think to yourself, did I feel those ways? Do I currently feel those ways? Was that accomplished? And if the answer is yes, you do a happy dance. If the answer is no, you say, what was accomplished? Okay. And if the thing that you're doing isn't hitting all 3, you either need to adjust the treatment with the person that you're doing it with. You need to have a conversation with them. Most healers I know would love for someone to share this with them because they would really be able to help you in a bigger way. And my healer friends out there, if you disagree, tell me, but I can guarantee you they would love to know how you want to feel and how they can help support you feel that way. That's why they do what they do. That's what drives them to keep working so hard at what they do, right? So if you're not, can you have a conversation? Can you talk to them and be like, you know what? I need to feel a little bit more of this time. And I bet you they'll go, great. This is how I can support you. And if they're not saying that, then find a different healer. Make sure you're saying it kindly. Like, it's on you. All right. It's not the healer's job to fix you. It's the healer's job to support you in your own healing and hand you some tools to do that. So you want to be making sure that you're saying, this is the thing that I'm struggling to feel. I'm really struggling with my guilt. And it makes it so I can't completely relax when I'm here. Any tools or help or support you would give me around that would be so awesome. All right. Because I'm going to tell you what, most healers, the really good ones especially, are ready for that. And they can probably relate to that exact feeling. And they will help you feel that way. They will work through it. And they may even adjust their treatment based on that for you. Okay, make sense? So let's say you leave and you realize, well, I felt 2 out of the 3. Great. Maybe you felt all 3. Maybe you felt 1. Whatever that is, you're going to make adjustments to get to all 3. Maybe you're going to try a different treatment if that one didn't give it to you. I wouldn't just do one time. Try a few times and see if you get there. Make a plan to move through them. But as you're going through your week, every day you want to ask yourself, am I feeling those ways that I wanted to feel? Did that thing that I do help promote that? Do I need to do it again to bring more of that into my life? What this does is not just take up time. It really does not take up time. If you're going to tell me that this takes up too much time, I'm going to yell at you and say, get a grip. This takes 1 second of your time. You can choose a time when you're going to do a self-care check-in. You can set an alarm on your phone if you want. Put a note in your mirror so when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, you can do it. It takes 5 seconds. You can do it while you're doing something else. Okay. So you're just going to check in and you're going to think, yeah, okay, yeah, I do feel this way. Or yeah, I think if I did it more, I would feel more this way. Or that's sort of run out. Now these things are back and I need help again. I need to go back and make an appointment. Then as I'm doing this, I'm seeing that, maybe I need to spread this out like once every month. I think that will really keep me accomplishing those feelings. Or maybe I can go every 2 weeks and that will really help me. Or maybe I need to go weekly for a little bit till I get better. And then I can come in whenever. Or maybe that one time did you good. And you're like, I'm good for a little bit. I'll call when I need to go back in. Or that was great. Now I'm going to try something else. Whatever it is that you say, that's what you want to be doing because now you're taking that feeling and carrying it through so that feeling gets more time and space in your life. It gets more of your energy. So when you go to think about it again, the guilt may pop up, but so will those benefits. So will those 3 feelings that you feel really good about. So will that effort that you get to take in those steps you get to take to accomplishing that more. And then self-care doesn't just become about, oh, I just want to, go and take a time out for an hour. It becomes about, this is a necessity in my life because in order to give at the level I want to give to everyone, I need to give to myself too. Make sense? I hope it does. If you have arguments, I would love to hear them. But also, really look at what the thing is that stops you. What's your thing? Like I told you, guilt was mine. Now I would say it's not as much guilt. It's more stress. Like how am I going to fit that into my schedule. I have to get a babysitter, or I have to, you know, shift stuff around to be able to do that. So that's the thing that stops me, which all that is, if you want to call me out on it, is prioritizing, right? It's like saying, I'm not going to prioritize my self-care. Everything else is more important. So you'll see that stuff shifts in your life. Once you kick guilt's ass, a new one will pop up and you'll have to face that too. And that's okay. You just want to be aware of it so that you know your own tricks, right? You got to be aware of the silly things that you use to stop yourself. And then you got to undo them. Makes sense? So tell me what yours is if it's one I haven't said yet, because I would love to help support you in it. And comment. Tell me what stops you from self-care. Tell me what self-care things you love. Tell me what you need to, and I'll recommend a self-care. And if you're local, I'll recommend a person. They're probably already in this group, all right? Because you want to really commit to that. You've got to make a plan, all right? I know that I sound like a broken record about plans and systems, but you have to. And listen, this comes from a person, yes, I admittedly am type A, OCT, as my friend Heather B explained to me, not OCD, obsessive compulsive tendencies. Those things work for me, and my brain is wired that way, but I didn't start out that way. I wasn't born creating systems. That's not me. Like, I'm not that way. I'm much more in the moment. I feel like this. That's kind of how I am. I love the systems, but it doesn't come to me naturally. I had to work and to learn and do it wrong for a long time. And so if I know that once a month, I have to sit down and look at what my self-care is, and I have to have at least 2 appointments scheduled every month to be taking care of myself, at least 2, then that's a big deal. And every 6 months, I have to try a new one that I've never tried before. I have to go find a new one. Those are the ways that I push myself, and that feels doable to me. I would like to get up to 1 thing a week of self-care. I would love to get up there, and I'm walking myself there. All right. So you got to look for the things that feel right and feel best and feel like they're checking off those boxes of things that you want. Okay. All right. Let me go through and look at some of your comments. Let's see. Kelly says, in order to give your best treatment is to take care of yourself first. You will notice your clients responding better. Absolutely. That's such a fantastic point, Kelly. Like I think of it, you know, as, for me, if I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna be showing up on videos and I'm gonna be on the phone and be given the responsibility of helping someone when they're feeling stuck, like diving in and giving them an answer, like it's not an option for me to not help you. When I bring you to that place of seeing it and looking at it and asking you those questions, I can't just go, I don't know, right? Like, no, I can't do that, and I would never do that. I have to deliver. That's my job, and that's the part of it that I love, because it's like a adrenaline rush for me every time. It's like, well, can I get it? Can I get it? Because I don't know. It doesn't show up before I talk to you or before I see you. It shows up then. I just have to trust, and it doesn't all show up right away. It shows up in pieces, and I have to keep going with that. If I want to do that, and I want to do that well, I have to be taking care of myself. Imagine if I showed up just like a hot mess and like wasn't grounding my own energy and wasn't connecting with my own angels myself. Like, I would not be able to give to you. I would not have enough to do that kind of work that I do, right? Like, I didn't go to school for 20 years to do this. I don't have a degree in psychology. Like, I don't have any of that stuff. I'm just thrust into the moment of hearing and repeating. And if you want to be divinely doing stuff like that, you have to really be taking good care of yourself, your body, your energetic self, your spiritual self, your soul, your mind. All of that stuff has to be sharp. If you're any kind of a healer or any kind of a giver or any kind of an empath who's here to serve people in any sort of way, that applies to you exactly that way. It's not just a nice thing that you do. It's a necessity. If you want to help people, if you want to serve people, a complete necessity. Maybe all you do for work right now is that you're a stay-at-home mom. Hello, you are serving and caring for 24/7 your children. You need to be taking care of yourself. It shouldn't be an option. It should be required. Make sense? I hope that does. I hope that hits you in the right spot. That was a great point, Kelly. Sharon says, I'm talking to her. You are one of the people I'm talking to, girl. Yes. But Sharon, you're doing a lot of excellent work around this. You're not just like saying, oh, I can't do it and sitting around. You're stepping up and you're looking at your stuff and you're moving through it. So to me, that's what it's all about, right? It's not about doing it perfect. Jamie says she needs to make an appointment with Kelly Austin. Yes, you do. Everybody in the world needs to make an appointment with Kelly Austin. I need to make an appointment. Kelly, how many weeks have I been telling you that I need to come in and make an appointment with you, right? I'm going to do it. Listen, you hear me on the video. You've got to hold me accountable. I'm calling Kelly and I'm going in. Because what I usually do is wait until I'm just like a complete mess. And right now my body feels pretty good. I have a couple of areas that feel a little off. This is when you should go in to get like realigned and release your stuff, right? Hello, not when I, barely crawl up the stairs and she's like, what did you do now? Right? Kelly, I've brought you some really interesting things. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm like, it only happens to me each time you see me. Yep, exactly. Jamie says, I always ask people before a session what's going on and how they want to feel. Then they feel like we're on the same team. Yes, that's so super important. And if you have a good healer like Jamie asking you those questions, then you want to share what you have going on. A lot of times, people will see this, and I hear this from my clients who are healers and do this work too, that people will just be like, oh, okay, because they don't want to sound like they're complaining or something. No, healers want to know that. They're already picking up a lot of that information. And if you put the other puzzle pieces in there for them, you're going to make their job a lot easier. And they're going to be able to help you in a bigger way. I don't think there's any healers that I know, and I think most of you are saying, you're agreeing with me on this, that are here, that don't want you to be honest with them and tell them what you have going on and even how you're feeling about the session. If you're like, I'm really working through feeling guilty for being here or for spending the money or for doing this, and it's something that I want to work on, and I think that's part of something I need to release while I'm here with you. Great, they want to hear that. You're not embarrassing them. You're not making them uncomfortable. They want to know that because then they can truly help you move through that, okay? Mary says, guilt and time stops me. Yes, so guilt is a feeling of worth, okay? So what happens is your self-worth is tied to serving everyone else. So when you go to serve yourself, that guilt comes in, and what that guilt is triggered by is saying, when I'm doing this, I feel like I have no self-worth, and the only time I have self-worth is when I'm taking care of someone else. That's where the guilt comes in, okay? And then the time is I can't make myself a priority, and the reason you can't make yourself a priority is probably because of the guilt, okay? Or you're feeling stressed, or you're not doing a good enough job planning your schedule or manifesting the time to do all the things that you want. So it's about shifting that there, okay? Great share, Mary. I think those are mine too. Sharon says usually time and guilt, sometimes money. Yeah, money, usually time and guilt sometimes. Yeah, so when it's money, you're basically saying that I don't feel powerful enough to invest in myself. And so what that means is I don't think it's going to work. It's not going to have a good enough impact on my life to make it worth it. And so where that one comes from is saying, like, I'm not powerful enough to be making everyone feel good. I'm just showing up and going through the motions and doing the work. That's what that one is. Okay. Yeah, that one's a doozy. Jamie says guilt and money hold me up. Yes, exactly. So look at the why. So let's take the guilt example for a minute. Let's say that you feel incredibly guilty every time you do self-care. If you go in going, okay, what's the opposite for me of feeling guilty? Because guilt is secondary. Okay, guilt is like anger. It's not the first emotion you feel. It's a response to another emotion. Okay, so if you're like, what am I feeling? Okay, so I'm feeling like I am not being a good mom because I'm taking an hour away from the time I could be with my kids. So I feel like I'm not being a good mom by going and doing this, or I'm taking money away from my children. I could buy them another toy or another shirt or I don't know, a box of popsicles or whatever. Okay, so you're saying, okay, this is it. So you start to spin in this direction. What is it that you want to feel instead when you go? What is it that you actually believe is true? Because if you're there and if you're wanting to do self-care, then you don't actually believe that story that your ego is telling you. So what do you want to feel? So most people, instead of feeling guilty, want to just enjoy it. They want to feel like I'm filling my cup back up so I can go out and I can share. Okay, and I can give more. So what I want to feel is, and fill that in. So when you feel that guilt coming in, you can stop and you can go, okay, I see that there's guilt there, and I understand it's triggered by this, and you fill in what the this is. And so what I want to feel instead when I move through this is this. So I'm going to shift my focus to feeling here. I recognize the guilt. I'm not asking it to leave. There, you can stand over there, guilt. You stand on this side of me. And this other feeling that I want, whether it's empowerment or recharging or relaxing or peace or harmony or whatever, you stand over here. We're going to all go in together. All right. If you just try to get rid of it, if you just try to say, go away, guilt, it's not going to go nowhere. It's just going to be like walking around pretending not to look at the elephant in the room. Like, no. Okay. Recognize it. Know it's there. And also invite in the other emotion that you want to feel. How else do you want to feel? We get too busy just trying not to feel guilty and avoid it. And that's not going to work. We have to bring it in. We have to look at it, and we have to invite in how we want to feel instead and let them both come with us. What happens when you continue to focus then on that good feeling throughout your day and your week as you move through it, the strength of your guilt starts to lessen. It shrinks. It goes away, right? Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even like, I'm trying to think, like, go get my hair done. I would feel so stressed about that. I remember like feeling like, oh my God, I need to go get my eyebrows waxed. They are so out of control, but I couldn't even do that. That would have taken me like 20 minutes. I could not even do that because it was money and time, and that made me feel so guilty. So it's not as if I'm like, oh yeah, like I've always taken great care of myself. I'm not coming to you from that place. I'm coming to you from that place of knowing and understanding that guilt. It still shows up. It still comes. It's like, hey, what's up? Do you think you should maybe be doing that giant pile of work you got over there? So when that shows up, I'm like, whoa. I must be doing a poor job of planning if that guilt is having enough power to make me second guess taking care of myself today, right? So then what I do is I go back, I bring the guilt with me. I don't tell it to go away. And I say, come on, guilt, we're going to make a better plan, and we're going to move forward and still do this. And we're going to feel these ways that we want to feel. I feel as if I have a responsibility to my children, to my husband, and to my clients, and to my friends to show up as the best version of me that I can. As many possible times as I can show up as her, I'm going to. And that's just the way that I do it, by taking care of myself. No, I'm not sitting at a salon every day, and I'm not getting massages, every other day. Like, that sounds fantastic, but it's not me. That's not my good self-care routine. My good self-care routine has to do with exercising on certain days, meditating every day, and then having those two bigger treatments, whether it's a massage or acupuncture or seeing Kelly for some myofascial release or getting some Reiki or whatever it is that I'm getting. Doing that and having those things in there in that way is what works best for me. Getting a good night's sleep, eating well. Those are the things that work best for me. What will work best for you is different, okay? But you have to start looking at that. Don't get rid of the feeling. Invite it in. It's there. Hold hands. You can be friends, okay? But also look at how you want to feel and keep bringing those feelings back to yourself at least once every day. And I'm telling you, that power that guilt has over you from the queen of guilt, I can tell you that power will just go away, okay? Go forth and try that. Tell me how it goes. I want to hear. I want to see you sword fight with this. I don't want you to give up just because you feel bad or guilty. I want you to really work towards taking better care of yourself. And you know what? If you do a crappy job 1 week or 1 month, don't just be like, oh, I'm terrible at self-care. Don't do that. Just go, ooh, I had an off month. I think I need to be better next month. Okay? For me, I don't know what the heck I was doing in the month of January. But I didn't take like barely any care of myself. I didn't do any of my self-care stuff. Like, what are you doing? Okay. But I didn't just give up forever and I didn't just decide I'm bad at self-care. I just said, whoa, clearly I need this. And look at how much better I feel when I'm doing those things. I'm kind of burning out here. So I don't want to do that. If I'm going to put all of this stuff on my plate that I want and keep working and doing all of these things, I got to be doing this. So I don't give up. I just go, oh, got to do better next month. What happened there? Let's look at it. Let's fix it. All right. So just know it's a work in progress. You're going to suck at it sometimes and you're going to rock at it other times. And that's completely fine. That's life. Get comfortable with that. Okay. All right. Go have an awesome Thursday night. Take good care of yourself. I want to hear about what you're doing to take care of yourself. What are you doing? What are you doing in April to take good care of yourself? What is one thing that you're going to do to take better care of yourself and recharge that battery so that you show up as the best you? Because you deserve to show up as her and everyone else deserves to get to see that person. Okay. Everyone else deserves that version of you, but more importantly, you deserve to get to be that person. Okay. Have an awesome night. Love you all so very much. Good night.